Antony and Cleopatra. Summary and characters. 1. Mark Antony. Mark Antony is a powerful Roman general whose greatness collapses under the weight of passion. Once admired for courage, discipline, and loyalty to Rome, he becomes emotionally entangled with Cleopatra, allowing love to overshadow duty. Antony's internal conflict drives the tragedy. He cannot balance political responsibility with personal desire. His decisions grow impulsive and self-destructive, providing Caesar with excuses to weaken and condemn him. Despite his flaws, Antony remains noble and deeply human, showing loyalty to friends and devotion to Cleopatra. His downfall reflects the conflict between Roman honor and Egyptian sensuality. Antony's suicide, motivated by shame and love, marks him as a tragic hero destroyed by conflicting identities and overwhelming emotion. 2. Cleopatra. Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt, is charismatic, intelligent, seductive, and unpredictable. One of Shakespeare's most complex women, she blends political craft with emotional vulnerability. She commands attention effortlessly, using charm and theatricality to influence Antony and maintain power. Although passionate and playful, Cleopatra fears aging, betrayal, and losing Antony's affection. Her intense emotions and dramatic personality often mask deep insecurity. In politics, she is cunning; in love, she is consuming. Her flight during battle leads to Antony's disgrace, yet her remorse and loyalty preserve their bond. Facing humiliation under Caesar, she chooses death rather than captivity. Cleopatra's suicide with the asp becomes her final act of power, transforming her into an icon of dignity, pride, and tragic beauty. 3. Octavius Caesar. Octavius Caesar represents discipline, strategy, and political ambition. Unlike Antony, he suppresses emotion and values order above all. He judges Antony's indulgence in Egypt as weakness and uses it to justify war. Cold, calculating, and deliberate, Caesar maneuvers alliances, including Antony's marriage to Octavia, to strengthen his authority. Though victorious, he lacks warmth, ruling through control rather than charisma. His military efficiency and strict leadership lead to Rome's stability, but at the cost of compassion. Caesar respects Antony and Cleopatra only after their deaths, ensuring they are buried honorably. His triumph marks the victory of Roman reason over passion, shaping him as the future emperor. Shakespeare portrays him as powerful yet emotionally distant, successful yet spiritually hollow. 4. Enobarbus. Enobarbus is Antony's loyal friend, valued for wisdom, honesty, and keen observations. He often speaks uncomfortable truths, describing Cleopatra's allure and Antony's weaknesses with accuracy. His loyalty is genuine, yet he is not blind to Antony's decline. When Antony repeatedly sacrifices reason for passion, Enobarbus becomes torn between duty and conscience. Eventually he deserts Antony, unable to follow a leader, destroying himself. His guilt overwhelms him, and he dies in remorse, one of the play's most heartbreaking moments. Enobarbus serves as the audience's voice of reason, providing insight into the emotional and political chaos. His tragic fate symbolizes the collapse of loyalty in a world ruled by ambition and love. 5. Octavia. Octavia, sister to Caesar and wife to Antony, represents Roman virtue, modesty, and peace. Used as a political bridge between the rivals, she has no control over her own fate. Gentle, loyal, and morally upright, she enters her marriage hoping to unite Rome, but Antony's return to Cleopatra shatters her hopes. Despite this betrayal, she maintains dignity and never acts out of anger. Her calm, disciplined nature contrasts sharply with Cleopatra's passionate temperament. Through Octavia, Shakespeare highlights the conflict between duty and desire, restraint and indulgence. She symbolizes innocence caught in political warfare, suffering quietly yet nobly. Her presence shows how even the most virtuous individuals can be wounded by ambition, love, and power. 6. Lepidus. Lepidus is the weakest member of the triumvirate, gentle and diplomatic, but politically ineffective. He tries to maintain peace between Antony and Caesar, yet lacks authority to influence outcomes. His easy manipulation and eventual removal by Caesar reveal the ruthless nature of Roman politics. Lepidus symbolizes the fragility of shared power and the downfall of leaders who lack ambition in a world driven by strength and strategy. 7. Pompey. Pompey is a noble and honorable rival to the triumvirs, commanding loyalty through fairness and bravery. Unlike Caesar, he avoids treachery even when he could easily seize advantage. His downfall results from misplaced trust and strict adherence to honor. Pompey represents the fading age of traditional Roman heroism, overtaken by cunning political tactics that favor ambition over integrity. 8. Charmian. Charmian is Cleopatra's loyal attendant, offering comfort, humor, and unwavering support. She shares in Cleopatra's emotional world and remains faithful through every crisis. Her bravery appears strongest at the end, when she assists her queen's suicide and dies beside her. Charmian symbolizes devoted service and friendship, demonstrating quiet courage in a world dominated by political danger and emotional turmoil. 9. IRAs. IRAs, Cleopatra's younger attendant, is gentle and devoted, faithfully supporting her queen through triumph and tragedy. She assists in preparing Cleopatra for her final act of dignity. Her death, moments before Cleopatra's own, shows deep emotional attachment and loyalty. IRAs represents innocence and pure devotion, reinforcing the personal tragedy behind Egypt's political collapse. 10. Ventidius. Ventidius is Antony's successful military general, embodying Roman discipline and strategic skill. His victories contrast sharply with Antony's decline in Egypt, highlighting how Antony neglects duty for passion. Loyal yet realistic, Ventidius recognizes that Antony's greatness is fading. He symbolizes Roman virtue, duty, and the tragic loss of potential caused by Antony's choices. 11. Phidias. Phidias is Caesar's clever messenger, who attempts to persuade Cleopatra to abandon Antony. His smooth diplomacy reflects Caesar's manipulative tactics. When Antony captures and publicly humiliates him, Phidias becomes a symbol of political rivalry and Antony's jealousy. His role emphasizes the tension between diplomacy and emotional impulse in the conflict between Rome and Egypt. 12. Proculius. Proculius is Caesar's loyal officer, skilled in diplomacy and deception. He captures Cleopatra by pretending to offer safety while secretly following Caesar's orders. Though polite, he prioritizes control over honesty. Proculius represents Roman political cunning and reinforces Caesar's desire to display Cleopatra as a trophy rather than honor her as a queen. 13. Agrippa. Agrippa is Caesar's trusted general and advisor, admired for discipline and strategic thinking. He proposes Antony's marriage to Octavia, attempting to preserve peace. Calm, reasonable, and loyal, Agrippa represents the organizational strength of Rome. His presence highlights the contrast between Roman order and Egyptian emotion, contributing to Caesar's eventual victory. 14. Maecenas. Maecenas, a thoughtful advisor to Caesar, embodies intelligence, calm judgment, and political stability. He helps guide decisions during the conflict with Antony and promotes diplomacy. Though not a soldier, he plays an essential role in maintaining Roman authority. Maecenas represents the intellectual and administrative strength supporting Caesar's rise to power. 15. Dolabella. Dolabella is one of Caesar's followers who stands out for compassion and humanity. He treats Cleopatra with unusual kindness and secretly warns her of Caesar's plans. His empathy contrasts with the cold ambition of Caesar's camp. Dolabella symbolizes honor and moral sensitivity in a world dominated by political manipulation and betrayal. 16. Scarus. Scarus is a brave soldier loyal to Antony, marked by battle scars and fierce determination. He criticizes Antony's mistakes yet fights courageously. Scarus represents genuine Roman valor and the suffering of loyal warriors caught in their leader's downfall, highlighting the human cost of Antony's decisions. 17. Lepidus's soldiers and attendants. These followers serve Lepidus faithfully, but lack influence in major decisions. Their obedience contrasts with the ambitious rivalries of Rome's leaders. They symbolize the silent majority affected by political struggles, illustrating how ordinary individuals bear the consequences of powerful men's failures and ambitions. 18. Pompey's soldiers. Pompey's soldiers are loyal fighters defined by discipline, honor, and commitment to their commander. They reflect Pompey's integrity by rejecting treachery. Their presence highlights the tragic fall of honorable leadership and the disappearance of traditional Roman virtues in a world ruled by cunning political ambition. 19. Roman messengers. Roman messengers deliver critical news between Egypt and Rome, often triggering conflict. Their reports influence decisions, misunderstandings, and emotional reactions, especially regarding Antony's marriage. They represent the power of information in shaping political and personal outcomes in the play's unstable world. 20. Egyptian attendants and guards. Egyptian attendants and guards serve Cleopatra with loyalty and pride. They reinforce the richness of Egyptian culture and the queen's royal authority. Their presence during her final moments emphasizes the devotion surrounding Cleopatra and highlights the emotional depth of her court amid political destruction.